Once upon a time, in a grand castle surrounded by enchanted forests, lived a beautiful but lonely princess named Isabella. She had everything one could dream of: sparkling jewels, elegant gowns, and a golden crown. But despite her riches, she longed for a friend. Her days were filled with royal duties, and the people around her treated her more like a queen-to-be than a young girl who wanted to laugh, play, and share secrets. One sunny afternoon, Isabella wandered to a crystal-clear pond near the edge of the forest, her favorite escape from the palace. She carried with her a golden ball, a gift from her late mother. The princess loved playing with the ball, tossing it high into the air and catching it as it glimmered in the sunlight. But as she played, the ball slipped from her hands and rolled into the deep, murky water of the pond. Isabella sat by the edge of the pond, tears streaming down her cheeks. Suddenly, she heard a strange croaking voice. "Why are you crying, dear princess?" Startled, she looked around and saw a small green frog sitting on a lily pad. It wasn't just any frog, it had bright golden eyes that sparkled like jewels. "I can fetch your ball," the frog said, "but only if you promise to let me stay in the palace with you." The princess hesitated but wanted her golden ball back more than anything. "Of course, I promise," she said, though she couldn't imagine bringing a slimy frog into the castle. The frog smiled and dove into the water. Moments later, it emerged with the golden ball held tightly in its mouth. Isabella was overjoyed and grabbed the ball, thanking the frog. Then, without a second thought, she ran back to the palace, leaving the frog behind. That evening, as Isabella dined in the grand hall, she heard a knock on the palace door. To her surprise, the frog was there, reminding her of the promise. Embarrassed, Isabella tried to ignore it, but her father, the king, overheard. "A promise is a promise, Isabella," he said sternly. Reluctantly, she allowed the frog to enter the palace. At first, Isabella was disgusted by the frog. It hopped onto her plate at dinner and insisted on sharing her food. Later, it followed her to her room and requested to sleep on her silk pillow. "I'm a princess, not a caretaker for frogs," she complained. But the frog's kindness and gentle humor soon melted her heart. As the days passed, she began to enjoy its company, laughing at its jokes and sharing her thoughts and dreams. One evening, while sitting by the fireplace, the frog revealed a secret. "I wasn't always a frog," it said. "I was once a prince, cursed by a wicked witch. Only true friendship or a kiss from a kind heart can break the spell," Isabella gasped, unsure if she could believe such a tale. But she also felt a deep sympathy for the frog. The frog told Isabella about the witch who had cursed him out of jealousy. "She wanted my kingdom," he explained, "but when I refused to marry her, she turned me into a frog and banished me to the forest." Isabella felt a surge of anger. She wanted to help her new friend but didn't know how. Determined to break the spell, Isabella decided to face the witch. With the frog by her side, she ventured into the dark forest. They found the witch's lair, a twisted tower surrounded by thorny vines. "You dare to come here," the witch hissed, her eyes blazing with fury. But Isabella stood firm, demanding that the curse be lifted. The witch laughed, saying, "The curse can only be broken by true love." Isabella realized what she had to do. Turning to the frog, she whispered, "You've been my truest friend." With that, she kissed him gently on his green, bumpy forehead. A blinding light filled the room, and when it faded, the frog was gone. In its place stood a handsome young prince. The prince introduced himself as Prince Theodore, ruler of a distant kingdom. He thanked Isabella for her bravery and kindness. The two returned to the palace, where Theodore shared his story with the king and queen. Overjoyed, they hosted a grand celebration, inviting people from all around to rejoice in the prince's transformation. Isabella and Theodore grew closer with each passing day. They found in each other not just love, but a deep friendship built on trust and understanding. Soon, they were married in a grand ceremony, uniting their kingdoms. Together, they ruled wisely and kindly, ensuring their people lived happily ever after, and the golden ball. It stayed in a special place, a reminder of the day a lonely princess found her truest friend.